Hi everyone, and welcome back to the John Deere B restoration. And as you can see, we've shot blasted and painted 3 of the main 4 components: the front chassis, main case, and in the back there, the rear axle. They all cleaned up nicely eventually. Got them back to shiny steel, and as you can see, yeah, green undercoat. I did eventually find somebody that could supply me with some green undercoat, so that's brilliant, that. And as you see, I've painted inside all these casings. The back axle, main case painted. That's that. There we go. And the reason being is because these tractors, obviously not being used every day, they do stand a little bit, and condensation is created inside the voids, inside the casings. Of course, you get damp, condensation and water, which on the bare metal would eventually cause rust, which is detrimental really to the life of the components. And so I've always painted the insides of my casings where I can, be it the old engines that I used to rebuild, or as I say here, these component casings. They were painted. They had originally some red, you can see it in some of my earlier videos, some red sort of paint on. I guess it would probably be like a red lead paint. I don't know really. It certainly peeled off very well with the shot blasting. But yeah, there you go. Maybe not to everybody's taste, I don't know. It's actually, it was a job finding a paint that I was quite happy with, because the paint I used to use, there was a paint on the market which was called something like, I don't know, gearbox casing paint, and it was good for extreme temperatures and all the rest of it, but I can't find it anymore. I guess it's one of these things that's probably gone the way of health and safety. I know it's pretty obnoxious stuff to put on. Haven't had any for years, but anyway, I found this paint. It's actually machine shop paint for painting lathes and milling machines, and it's good for 170 degrees C, and it's meant to be oil and fuel proof, so that'll do for me. That's okay. That is actually, I believe, Colchester lathe cream, or I like the light colour. It's sort of contrasted and you can see things better inside. So there you go, that's what we've done there. Obviously I haven't been able to do down the axle tubes. Couldn't find anybody small enough to crawl down. Sorry about that. But no, done inside. There's some casings out here. Quickly we'll look in the workshop. It's gone dark, heck. There's the case, side case, where the main gear goes from the engine to the gearbox, and there's the that's obviously the governor box, governor case, goes on top of the engine. So, there we go. So really, my goal is for the next few videos is to get the differential and PTO put back inside here, and then get these 3 components bolted back together, and then rebuild the back axle, bull gears. As you can see, the half shafts are out over there. Get them cleaned up and put back in. Get the front chassis part put back onto the front of the main case. And I have no pedestal. I wouldn't say I've been let down, although I was promised it would be done within a week. Well, it's over a fortnight now, so we've no pedestal at the moment. But I saw the chap today, and he assured me it would be done for next week, so we shall see. So once we get the pedestal back, then we'll be starting to look like a tractor again. Yeah, so there we go. So at the moment I'm busy cleaning up. I did actually paint the spider in the differential. Again, it just stops things rusting inside the gearboxes. And I'm going to paint these bull gears. That's the replacement bull gear I got for the one which has the chipped tooth. I was looking at this actually. It's obviously had a bit of play in its back axle because it's been rubbing on something and it's taken the top off these rivets. So it's a bit like that BN I had. It had a bad axle on it which had to be rebuilt, and the same thing had happened there. It had been moving and they'd just been touching the casing inside. So there we go. I'm busy just sorting out the bearings for the differential. If you recall, that's the quill that we took out the side. I will give that a quick shot blast, clean it up before it goes back in. And the bearing there would not come out, very tight. And although I had this flange in the vise, I was very concerned about giving it too much hokey pokey, as they say. And so I used the old trick, I don't know if you've come across it, run an arc welder rod around the inside of the race. As you can see, it works every time. That I think it's not a case of it like when you warm things up you expect them to expand, but I think with the hardened case of these with a bearing track, it actually, the welding contracts it and it makes it go slack, and hey, just fell out. So, well, very easily came out. As you can see, I'm using Timken bearings. They are expensive. They're about twice as much as a reproduction. But my thoughts with anything I've always rebuilt, I've always tried to use genuine bearings, because the machining was made for a Timken bearing in this situation. As we all know, the John Deere's new Timken and new departure bearings, and as you can still get Timken bearings, I still use them. New departure, you can't get them anymore obviously, but you can still get good copies of them anyway. So yeah, as I say, over the next 2 or 3 videos, get rid of this A-frame, which is really annoying, and hopefully we'll have this stood up, this frame all together, and get that pedestal back. It really will start looking like it's coming together. So yeah, I think we can genuinely say we've turned the corner. We can't take those components to bits anymore, so let's start putting them back together. Yeah. So there we go. My idea is, it is undercoated in the green paint, and the idea is that once they are bolted together, then obviously the bolts and that will all be, you know, rusty bolt. Well, they won't be rusty, but they won't have paint on. So I will give it another flash over as a whole unit with undercoat, and I'll just keep doing that as I feel fit, as I feel it needs it. So yeah. So there we go. Just an update. Thanks for watching. Bye.